Oh, good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. It is January 1st, 2021. It is 9:04 a.m., and I believe it's Friday today. Let me just double check on that. No, it's Friday today, so every day is the same to me, like I mentioned that before. But today is the start of January, the beginning of the year, and I know that in the past I've made some videos about stalking awareness. So I'm going to go ahead and put my last video that I made in the description box in case you didn't get a chance to check that out. This is National Stalking Awareness Month. And this is where people are talking about the devastating effects of stalking and how, it's a big problem. I mean, it's always been there, but it seems as though these numbers have increased over the last, I would say, 10 years. And this is talking about the situation in general, not just my issue, but and I do believe that the advent of these technology services, like use the computer, text messaging, and so on, has helped people with stalking. So people have misused this form of technology in order to stalk other people, and the psychological effects, not just psychological, but we also have the financial aspect of it, is devastating to victims who have been stalked, especially for long periods of time, such as me. So I will put this video in the description box, and I hope that you check it out. And I hope that you learn something, because it's very important. Some people would think, well, because you know who your stalkers are, like my ex-family, as well as my ex-husband's family, and then people that I used to know from high school, that should make you feel better since you know who these people are. But when I really think about it, I don't know who these people are, because they have a side to themselves that likes to infiltrate spaces, and they have this secret little society where they know things about what they're going to do to you and this sort of stuff. They have these little plans and they orchestrate things, and you never suspect people of doing those sort of things, so you don't really know these people. So then it invokes terror in a person, because it's a form of terrorism, which I think I covered this in my video, but it's stalking. Repeated stalking is a form of terrorism. And I would like to state this message to my former people that I used to know. I would appreciate it if you would stop doing that. Over the last few years of me making these videos, I've been making videos for 5 years now. In September, I started making them in September 2015, and I've been making videos since then. And throughout these course of time, I've been figuring out what's been going on. These videos have been very helpful. I don't know how many videos I've made so far, quite a lot, but I think the mental effect of it, the devastating part of it, is when you're telling people, because I do look at this as a hate crime. I do believe it's a hate crime, especially if you know that people are listening to your videos or watching you. They know what you're doing. They know it's invoking fear. They know it's invoking terror. They've already discussed that it's already illegal, and the reasons why it's illegal, because of what it causes. When you understand these sort of things, and you're basically communicating this message to people, and they still think, treat your situation like it's frivolous, or they don't understand, or they don't respect your rights, your human values, or whatever, and they still want to continually press the issue, you are immediately going to fear for your life, okay? And so no one has the right to impose their likes, their tastes, their desires, their will on you, their religion, their taste, or whatever, on a person. And it is a devastating feeling, okay? It is terrorism. Some stalkers, they usually do get close to whoever is in your surroundings, whether you have neighbors, co-workers, so-called friends, or whatever. And so they affect the social platform of these relationships, and it's always devastating, always, okay? So, I'd like to go on with my life. I've been feeling the effects for a very long time, and I would appreciate it if you would just leave me alone from this point on. I mean, I know it's hard, especially when you have a compulsive, a kind of obsession, of doing this, but it is, I can't take it anymore. I just can't. I cannot take it anymore. And I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel at ease knowing that these are the people that I so-called knew. I don't know these people. Like I said, this is a part of their life that has been hidden, and it's revealing to me, so I'm not comfortable with any of you. Okay. So trying to move on with my life, I'm still looking for work, and it's been a very long time since I've been out of work. I've been out of work for a year now. And it's been hard. It's been very hard on me financially as well as emotionally. Because, when you deal with inactivity for long periods of time, it can be devastating. And it creates in a person, this is one of the issues about stalking, and one of the issues, especially about gang stalking and human trafficking, is because it demoralizes a person. And when people feel extremely demoralized, they give up. Like I remember when I was working in a convalescent hospital, there were some people, not all old people go into convalescent hospitals because they're sick. Some people get placed in convalescent hospitals because their families just don't want them. You know what I mean? Or they're old and they can't take care of themselves in a way where, they can't be active. They're not able to go get their own groceries. They may be able to walk and stuff like that, but they're not strong enough or whatever. So not everybody is like terminally ill. But I remember quite a few patients who basically lost their will to live. And they literally just released themselves from the earth because they no longer had the desire to live. And that's all you have to do, is have this desire not to live anymore. This is called genetic death, okay? And a lot of people have done research on this issue. Basically, when people feel like they just don't have any reason to live anymore. And this is what the devastating part about it. Many people do commit suicide from being victims of stalking, gang stalking, human trafficking. It's a very serious issue. So that's one of the reasons why I'm going to repost this video, because I really don't I don't want another person having to go through this, and sadly they will, because there's people who don't respect the rights of other people. Okay, but I want people to understand why this is wrong and really think about it, and maybe I could help another person, even if it's just one person. So moving on from that, and I will say, I've gone to a few job interviews, and it's not easy going to job interviews, especially after you've dealt with consistent harassment, you've dealt with consistent fake job interviews, you've dealt with consistent whatever, and it is not easy. But I am a woman who had plans for my life and got detoured from my plans, got redirected from my plans that I needed to survive. It's important for people to make these plans, not the plans of other people, because there's some people who, when you're being a victim of gang stalking, what it is that people want to manipulate you into a situation that you have obviously stated that you don't want. Okay, and when you deal with having to face or go into a job interview or whatever, knowing that people who were who participated in this or who did this to you, and you're always worried about what's going to happen to you. So it's, usually when in the past, before I dealt with all this issue, and when I go to job interviews, I was excited about going to job interviews. Now I'm kind of excited, but it's more like I'm fearing for my life is what I'm doing. It feels intimidating, and so it's something that I have to push myself to do, and it's not easy because the psychological trauma and devastation that it causes, it's just unspeakable. Okay, so I don't want to be a part of the lives of these people, and I don't want to be indirectly in relationships with people that are connected to these people. Now sometimes, working jobs is one thing, okay, but I know that I get this feeling that there's plans of matchmaking and stuff like that. I'm not comfortable with that. Okay, when a person is basically saying, this is what I need to do, I need to feel protected. Being protected to me is more important than that. And when you constantly feel like somebody's trying to do this and they're connected to the people that are in this group that has already harmed you, has already literally devastated you, disturbed you, I will tell you, you feel terrified, because basically it's like somebody putting a gun to your head. Do this, or here's the consequences. Meaning that we cannot make it, you have a job, we can do this, we can put all kinds of pain, suffering, and other things. So then you feel like you have no other choice. You know, what kind of wife would somebody be if they're married to that person out of, you know, being coerced or whatever? So there's a lot of illogical thinking in the minds of people who stalk other people, but it is, to me, a sign of mental illness or some sort of disorder, and I don't want to be brought into it. I don't want to be brought into that. You know, please respect my words and leave me alone. So, so I don't really have much planned for today. You know, I was thinking, you know, I was making myself laugh yesterday, mainly because, you know, there's so many things that have been changing over the last few years, and, you know, every time I see these people from the 80s, you know, maybe they're trying to revive their career, or maybe they passed away, or whatever, they're flashing on my intro screen when I get up in the morning to do my daily chores or task on my computer, and, you know, I'll see like an article about this particular person or whatever, and it kind of makes you feel old a little bit, but you also think, my goodness, the time's going by fast. And when I think about it in terms of the abuse that I've dealt with, I'm thinking, even back then, even when this person was making #1 hits, even when this particular actor was in this movie, I was being stopped. I was being, and it's a long-term thing. So everything relates to, you know, the trauma that you experience. And it's sad that you have to identify things that way or associate, you know, make these sort of associations in your mind, but that's what happens, okay? But I was being humorous yesterday, and I mean, this is not funny at all. I know this guy, I think his name is Osvaldo Quinones. He was the guy who played Shabba-Doo. Sorry. Was his name Shabba-Doo? Shabba-Doo? Whatever. He was a guy from Breakin' and like Electric Boogaloo or something, which I've always thought those movies were just absolutely ridiculous, right? But, and I'm not making light of this, because he's a human being, and he put in work with his talents. He was a dancer, okay? But I always thought that movie was so corny. Like, you know, it's just stupid. I don't like dance movies. I don't like movies that involve dance, okay? Because they're really corny, and that the plot lines are ridiculous, and whatever. But I remember just a few weeks ago, because I have these flashes of intuition, right? And I was thinking, you know, all these people are dying, and I remember this person came up into my mind, that person, right? And I'm not a fan of his, okay, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, because, you know, I look at this and think, well, you know, he did something with his life, even though to me, I think that movie was really cheesy and, you know, just utterly lame. But, you know, still, you know, I'm not criticizing his dancing. He was a good dancer, not my style of dancing, but, you know, he was a good dancer, okay? But I kept thinking, you know, the day that he dies, who is he even going to be noticed? Would he even be recognized or whatever? And then, like, a few weeks later, or a few days later, a few days ago, I just got this thing in my email, by my Yahoo thing, or it's Yahoo, Outlook or whatever. And, you know, they have these news updates. It's basically talking about how he died, right? And I was kind of giggling to myself, not because it's funny that he died, because no, that's not funny. He has a human life, and he lived a good life, as far as, you know, I know. But you know, I remember when I was younger, I used to joke about obscure type individuals, like, you know, people who didn't have a really strong career. And when they would pass away, I would go around asking people, like, how did the death of so-and-so and so affect you, right? And so I was thinking, you know, I should be doing that about this particular person. Anyway, I thought it was funny, and I was, like, giggling in my bed. And then I kept thinking, you know what, I'm not, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm criticizing this person, because I'm not. Because, like I said, you know, I couldn't do something like that. You know, I was never in a movie. You know, it's still an accomplishment, right? But I guess I make fun of movies and certain things that are kind of ridiculous. He's not ridiculous, okay? He was getting paid for that. He got money for that. You know, he got to exercise his talent and his skill, and that's what all you could ever hope for in this world. And sadly, I was not able to do those things in my life because of the stalking, but he had a life where he was free and he was able to pursue his dreams, and maybe he wanted to be more than just the person who starred in Breakin', you know, or Electric Boogaloo, or whatever that movie was called. I'm sorry. But maybe that's what he wanted to be. But whatever the case is, he got to do his thing. You know what I mean? He got to do his thing, and I'm glad for that, you know? But I'm just when I'm making fun of him, I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of his character, the plot of the movie, the ridiculous stuff. And then I feel the same way about Footloose and Staying Alive, and what was that? Staying Alive? What was it? Saturday Night Fever, just any movie, you know, Dirty Dancing, all those movies. I can't take those movies, okay? And the only time I watch those movies is when I want a good laugh. I watch it for the comedy because I think it's so ridiculous. I do. And I know there's a lot of people who are fans of that, you know, and, you know, I've been like kind of criticized because, you know, I just don't understand, you know, but I still think it's funny. You know, but rest in peace. You know, I hope he rests in peace. Like I said, I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of the genre, the whatever is what I'm making fun of. Anyway, so not much planned this New Year's. I'm not making any New Year's resolutions or anything like that. Life as a targeted individual, you have to take life as it comes, and you don't really feel like you have a lot of control over what goes on in your life, and that's sad. Okay, but one thing is for sure, I do not. And I will not comply with your fucking bullshit puppet game. I don't want that in my life. You know, I really don't. I want to feel safe. And I want to feel protected. And I want to feel, you know, like, that's it. That's all I can ask for now in my life. That's all I can ask for. You know, I just want to go on with my life. And I want to forget this. And I hope 2021 will be a year where I can just move on and forget this. Because it has been another nightmare for me, and I hope that other targeted individuals find some sort of relief in their life. I hope that people who are a part of these underground networks or these sort of secret societies, and you probably never thought of yourself as one. I'm not necessarily talking to my perps on this, but people who do this sort of stuff, okay? They know certain things that are being orchestrated in their communities. They know that this particular person is being affected or they're being harassed or whatever, and then you either turn a blind eye or you participate in it yourself. You need to understand what these things do and why they're illegal. You know what I mean? It's not the reason why it's, when it comes to this sort of thing, this is the reason why it's not, it shouldn't be like trivialized, like where you're shrugging your shoulders. Well, I know this is against the law, but I'm going to do this anyway. You're always going to have a negative effect. The reason why these laws are put in place is to protect us from these things, because this plus this is going to be equal to this particular outcome all the time. All the time. Okay? It is not something that should be taken lightly. I have suffered many years, okay? Many years. When you're making videos talking about waking up at night in the middle of the night because you're dealing with trauma, when you are dealing with anxiety, when you have to pull over on the side of the road because you feel like you're having a major anxiety attack, and you're stating this to people who are watching this, and they still want to set up another fucking bullshit thing, they still want to continue their bullshit, you're dealing with somebody who's abusive. And so do you honestly think that it's easy for somebody who's dealt with this over and over and over again to get out of the house and go and do another job interview or whatever? It's not. Okay? I feel like a gun is being put to my head every goddamn day. Okay? I don't appreciate it, and I don't like it. I don't know these people, including my own blood relations. I don't know them. Okay? Because I don't know people who do this sort of stuff. And so people who may not be my perps, who may just be somebody who either is watching somebody and go through this in their workplace, or somebody who's going through this in their neighborhood, or somebody who's experienced this, I need you to understand. I want you to understand, okay, why this is illegal, why it is, and what the effects that it has on a person. It is devastating. It is absolutely devastating. I would have preferred these people would have rather shot me in the head than to put me through this. And that's not a lie. Okay? It is the worst thing you could ever experience. At least the worst thing I've ever experienced, and I don't ever want to deal with it again. So, anyway, I hope all targeted individuals find some way to have a happy new year. Like I said, I just kind of take things as it comes and see how things go, and that's all I can do. You know, I feel like I have suffered a lot over the last few years. I had plans for myself, which I have a right to, and it's not selfish to have plans for yourself. It's nothing wrong with trying to put your ducks in a row. There's nothing wrong with somebody saying, I need to make long-term plans for what happens, and for somebody to come in and thrash what you needed to do in order to survive. No one knows another person more than they know themselves. They don't. Okay, you think people need this, and this. Oh, she needs a man. She needs this, and this, and this, and this. No, I don't. No, I don't. The last thing I want to do as a person who has dealt with abuse is to form any sort of dependency on anyone, because oftentimes that's going to turn into an abusive situation. You know, people need to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, regardless. If I was a millionaire, well, I wouldn't be thinking about this at all, right? But if I wouldn't ever ask anybody to take care of me. Okay? You put women in situations where they can end up being abused. Okay? I'm not interested in meeting this person. I'm interested in working. That's what I'm interested in doing. And please stop interpreting things that I do as, you know, you're trying to read into what I'm doing. Okay? We all know Maria wears wigs. She wears hair pieces. Okay? And the reason why I haven't been wearing my bun lately is because I really don't have the ability to relax my hair. For white people who don't understand what hair relaxers are, it's what we do in order to make our hair presentable, especially for the workplace. Okay, we straighten it. So right now, my hair is not, it's unrelaxed, except for, like, you know, my roots have grown out, and my hair bun is a different color, a slightly different black color than my hair color, right? My hair. And I kept thinking, well, if I was to wear that, then that would be obvious, you know. I mean, people know that I do. Most black women do. A lot of black women do. But I started wearing my regular wigs. I call them my sisters, right? They're over here. Anyway, so I wear my wigs, and I kept thinking, okay. And because you're always worried, like, well, what if they're going to think this, and this, and this, and this. And look. I don't want to have to explain my hairstyles. I don't want to have to explain that I decided to wear a particular shirt, or I had to wear this particular pair of shoes. I dress professionally for my job interviews. I don't have to worry about. And I don't want people saying, well, she's doing this because she's trying to do this, and this. I'm doing this because I have to be presentable. I wouldn't hire somebody who comes into a job wearing t-shirts and fucking flip-flops. I wouldn't hire even a garbage man who comes to a job interview looking like that. Okay? And I don't want to be overly scrutinized. Other women don't get scrutinized. I don't want to be overly scrutinized either. I just want to go to work. That's it. That's all I want to do. I just want to go do my job, and I want to come home and at least feel safe. That's what I want. Okay? I feel threatened by these bizarre setups and these, like, you know, I'm not comfortable with it. I don't like it at all. At all. It makes me feel like you're putting a gun to my head. Please stop it. Also, you know, I think the older I get, you know, people think, well, when are you going to get married? I'm going to tell you, being a black woman and being single really should not come as too much of a shock to people. A lot of black women are without partners for several reasons, okay? In my case, it's mainly abuse. It's mainly me having what I consider, I'm a realist, okay? And I understand, you know, that a lot of relationships don't work. I prefer not to devote my life into a relationship. That's my choice. I have no desire to. Okay, I don't. And that's not me trying to hide my true feelings, or because, I feel like I'm not good enough to be with somebody. Has nothing to do with that. It's not there. Could you please accept that? Okay, but for a lot of black women, a lot of black women are becoming very successful. There's a lot of black women who are they get their educations, they go to, they're in good positions, they're able to financially take care of themselves. So a lot of black women are having a hard time finding black men. This is not me, but I'm just saying, is when you see single black women, it should not come as a surprise. There's a lot of women who cannot seem to find black men who are able to either match their status. And so that's one of the reasons why. And there's this like an uneven balance between eligible black women and eligible black men because of this issue. Black women tend to be more successful than the black men. There's a lot of dialogue and talk about it on YouTube. I know Cynthia G, who I just absolutely adore, by the way. She covers this topic a lot. And so we have a lot of black women some black women have decided to look outside their race because of the issue of not being able to find a black man who's able to match her. So some black women are like, they can't really find somebody because they're still struggling with this issue. Should I go outside of my race to find somebody? Whatever. So this is one issue, but it's not that uncommon for black women to be single. I know a lot of black women who are dying to be Mrs. Somebody. I'm not one of them. But when you see me, don't think that it's a big deal. It's not a big deal. A lot of black women are single. Now whether they decide to lower their standards and be with somebody who's not able to provide for them, because that's their standard. That's not necessarily my standard. But for a lot of people, women who are successful generally want to be with somebody who's equally successful or more, right? That's just how a lot of people are. That's not me, but that's how a lot of people are. A lot of people want to have relationships like that. And so that's their issue, And so when I think about this issue about, singling out single women, it's wrong because some people just want to they don't mind being on their own. I'm more comfortable being on my own than being with somebody. And that's just how it is. What I do want in my life is I want friends. I want to be around people that are warm, caring, people that I can go and do things with, come over, talk to me, go shopping with, make things with, do arts and crafts with. That's what I want in my life, and that's what I need in my life. I don't need drama in my life, and I don't want it. And please respect that and leave it alone. And don't sit here and try to pick out things that I do just because people can have their love of things that has nothing to do with that. I talked about my love of clothes. That has nothing to do with that. I don't identify that with that. Now, I identify provocative clothes, sexy clothes, clothes that are very revealing. I identify that with deliberately trying to attract the attention of get male attention. I'm just somebody who likes to be well organized. I like clothes. I like coordinating things. That's it. I love those things. I do. I love them. I love looking at it. And I was watching some old episodes of what is that show? I was on YouTube. And they had, they have these suggestions and stuff. They had suggestions of old episodes of Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and all these other things, which I used to love that shit as a kid. I used to watch a few of them, those episodes. And I remember I would look at Samantha, the head character, and I was checking out her clothes. Samantha's rocking those pants, man. She's rocking those pants. And she looks awesome, right? And I liked it. And that's what it is. That's what it is, and that's all it is. You know what I mean? And I don't appreciate people that's sexual harassment. It's like, you're doing this because of this, and blah 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 blah, and you're abusing a person. I don't appreciate it. It's terrorism, and it shakes me to my core, and I'm not afraid. I don't want it anymore. I cannot emphasize this much anymore. Can't emphasize it enough. You know, accept the fact that, you know, I don't want to deal with it. And I don't know these people. I don't know these people. You know, I don't know them. So, anyway, I'm hoping to have a relaxing day today. But I am bored. I'm bored at home, tired of being home. I would like to be at work. I'd like to get up in the morning, go to work. You know what I mean? I don't know, you know, and I would prefer, you know, just stop trying to overanalyze what I'm doing in life. You know, I'm presentable for the workplace. I'm a hard worker. I care about my work, and sadly, I am not able to pursue my dreams, the dreams that I wanted. I wanted to become a certified public accountant, and I felt abused in the sense that I felt that people were putting me in a situation where I had to justify my own right to make plans for myself. That's abuse. I've dealt with a lot of abuse. And then in order to get one of their shitty jobs that they were trying to offer me, they wanted me to do this, and then they needed to spy on me for this. And enough already. I don't owe any of you people anything at all. You know, I have made myself very clear that I don't want anything to do with you people. You know, and I hope that other people will wake up and stop doing this to other people. It's abuse. It's abuse. I just want to live out the rest of my years in peace. That's all I care about. Every day I wake up in the morning and I'm always thinking, I just want to live out the rest of my life in peace. To go to a job and have people take my job, my work seriously, be evaluated fairly, and go home. Go home. After my day's done, go home. You know? And of course I care about the quality of my work, you know? I mean, it's sad. It's unfortunate. I think I would have been a good CPA. I think I would have been. You know? And it wouldn't have been a very difficult thing to do. The thing is that I was dealing with forceful people, bullying people, people who wanted me to do things their way. And my plan was flawless, really. Had I not had outside intrusion, had I had been able to go out and meet people and apply for jobs in a regular way, then I would have been able to. I know another black woman who got a job, and she was mentored by her white boss, who was very accommodating and helped her, you know, get on with her career goals. And I know that I would have been able to do that. I know I would have been able to do that. You know, I would have been working a job where maybe I could have designed my plans and it would have worked. I know it would have worked. You know, maybe I had no intentions of having my own CPA practice. You know, I had no intentions of doing that, but I wanted to have that, you know, as an accomplishment for something that someone who like myself, who's dealt with so many setbacks, that was something that was important to me. That was like the only thing I had to live for. And then you come in with your abusive shit and want to add more of your bullshit, you know? Take this original goal from her and give her this, and then make her basically lose everything she even cares about. Stop her arts and crafts because she wants to do this. She wants a job, then she has to stop doing her arts and crafts, or she has to stop doing this. She can't go for walks anymore. So we can give her a job that is below what she ever wanted. Now, at this point, I don't really care. Like, I mean, I just want to go back to work. I just want to work and work with other people. I've long forgotten my original plan, which is unfortunate. Okay, what I dealt with was abuse from people that I don't know. I don't know anybody, and I don't want to know anybody who would ever do that to another human being. Period. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. To all targeted individuals, please stay safe. Stand up for your rights. Make videos. Talk about this issue. Get it out. Okay, I know I spoke to somebody just recently and they said, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that done eventually. I'm going to make some plans to do that. No, do it now. Now. Because the longer you wait, before I actually woke up to what was going on with my life, by the time, and all of this was surrounding me, gossip was being created, all these things were going on around me, and I had no ability to stand up for myself because I didn't know what was going on. Okay, and I thought, the confidentiality contract that I signed over at the farmer's place was going to be confidential, that I would not be affected by what happened to me. That was not my fault in the first place. I will never take responsibility for what happened to me there, or any other place for that matter. That's not me shucking responsibility or anything. It's the fucking truth. Okay? But that's what I thought. And I stayed quiet, and I did everything I thought I was supposed to do. I thought I was doing the right thing by going to find another job in peace and quiet, and this shit was following me. It was following me, destroying me. I didn't do anything wrong. But the point was I was quiet thinking that people were going to do the right thing. People don't do the right thing. They don't even know what they're doing. Okay? There's a lot of people who are working in jobs who are literally putting people in their graves with this sort of bullshit. And they have no idea what they're doing. So go out and talk. Make videos. Send them to your previous employer. Send them to your neighbors, whoever's email address you have, or text message, phone number, whatever. Make a copy of your video. Start talking about your stuff. Send it to them. Let them know what's going on with you. Okay? And then you're going to start putting things together. You're going to start remembering things. You're going to be able to start to put the pieces together. Like it took me over 5 years and over 1,000-something videos. Talk about this issue. Talk about it's stalking. Gang stalking, domestic violence, human trafficking. They are all similar. They all contain the same thing of workplace mobbing, community harassment, privacy invasion, surveillance, everything. They're all pretty much under the same category. So talk about it. You're being silenced, you're being isolated, but you still have a voice, and use it. Make your videos. Do not delay on this. And if some people, if you don't have the technical equipment to do that, make flyers. Go scrape up some money. Make a couple copies. Go to Kinko's, make a couple copies, and pass them out to places that you go shopping at, your neighborhood, whoever. Get your story out there. Okay? Take care of yourself and have a great year.